12 to 15 made three-pointers range today to knock off 8th-ranked Texas A&M. The Aggies coming off an impressive performance against Kentucky. It was a game that was tied at halftime, but in the second half, the Aggies pulled away to pick up win number 11. They're 2-0 in conference play. Texas A&M in the road black, and we're underway in Fayetteville. Right away, A&M looks to Sierra Johnson in the post, but she gets called for a travel.
Well, no surprises. Mike Neighbors told us, I expect them to go inside to Johnson the first 10 minutes of this ball game.
Did in the first 10 seconds of the ball game, so the scouting report was accurate. See the starting five for Arkansas. Jalen Mason getting her second start. So Amber Ramirez, the shooter, will come off the bench. Chelsea Dungy is second in the SEC in scoring, and Destiny Slocum opens the scoring for the Razorbacks. Starting five for Texas A&M is led by the point guard Jordan Nixon, who has really done a great job running the show, getting everyone involved, including herself. She scored the first 11 points of the game in the win against Kentucky on Thursday night. Kayla Wells, tough shot.
And Eric, anytime you play Arkansas, shot selection is critical because you do not want to allow the Razorbacks an opportunity to get out and run in transition.
Dungy tried to throw it to the corner, but Mason cut away from the corner. Turnover for Arkansas. They will not turn it over very much. That's something a Mike Neighbors team does very well. They're fifth in the country in fewest turnovers a game at just over 10 per game. Aaliyah Wilson back to Johnson, off balance shot. And Dia Jones fighting on the glass as she does so well. Jones averaging a double-double on the season at 13 and 10. Possession goes to Arkansas.
Well, and the reason Jones has been so adept on the glass is because of Johnson's low post prowess. It forces doubles. You saw the help side come. Arkansas has to make sure that someone's finding a body on Jones when the shot goes up.
Slocum can't get it, but the rebound comes to Thomas. Dungy with a quick refire for three.
And Eric, Mike Neighbors will tell you, one of the highest percentage threes you can get in basketball is off of that offensive rebound, as we just saw.
Jones lost the handle. Doesn't lose the fight for the loose ball, though. Somehow finds Johnson, who will earn a trip to the free throw line, but a good, gritty play by Jones. Well, Gary Blair, of course, has a great connection to the Fayetteville area, was the head coach at Arkansas, led them to the Final Four back in 1998, won the WNIT when he was Arkansas's head coach. Back in the day, he had a young man by the name of Mike Neighbors on his coaching staff, so this is a relationship that goes way back, about 20 years now, believe it or not. Johnson settles for 1 out of 2.
Arkansas's in their dribble drive offense, and Mike Neighbors told us if we don't score quick, make sure you're watching that we are moving without the ball to make to make Texas A&M have to defend.
Good defense by A&M as Jones takes the charge.
What doesn't India Jones do for A&M? She defends, she rebounds. We saw her get on the floor to extend the play a moment ago. This senior just does a little bit of everything for Gary Blair.
And this A&M team overall does a little bit of everything. You know they're going to be good on the glass. You know they're going to be good defensively. But really how they spread things out offensively, Wilson has been really good for them on both sides of the floor. She misses the jumper. Mason, corner three, in transition.
Well, if you're a Razorback fan, you like the start. Already 2 made threes for Arkansas. The tempo's been to their liking, and that's been the Achilles heel since SEC play began for Arkansas. Their opponents have slowed the pace down. Arkansas has to keep it fast-paced today to win.
You see the Arkansas keys. They've hit 2 threes so far, but they can't defend Wells as she drives the lane and scores in the paint.
Well, and that's part of those paint points that I'm eager to watch today. It's not just about getting the ball down low for Texas A&M. It's the dribble penetration of Wells, of Nixon, of Wilson that Arkansas has to contend with.
Daniels follows her miss, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Daniels as Jordan Nixon got a hand in there, so A&M will have it. Here are the keys for A&M, Christy.
Well, as much as Arkansas wants to get up and down, Gary Blair only wants to run off of a turnover. And so for him, this is the master of the half-court sets. I mean, some of the plays that I used to run in college came from Gary Blair. And so he wants to be able to control his offense, get them to set up. And you got to believe that's to spread the ball around as we see Wells knock it down from deep.
Kayla Wells with an early 5 points. She's averaging under 10 a game. She's been a more prolific scorer in the past, trying to find her way in this offense. And honestly, she's been quiet so far. And if Kayla Wells as a senior starts to heat up, then this Texas A&M team will be really dangerous. What did Mike Neighbors say? He thinks this is the best A&M team that Gary Blair has had in College Station. He's had some pretty good ones, including one that he's got a ring for.
Well, I was going to say, and he clarified, yes, that is even better than the national championship team. And I agree with Mike because I think they have balance. They have players who can come off the bench and help. You can beat them from the outside. You can beat them from the inside. He can beat them with a quick pace. Gary Blair can beat you in the half court. This team is one who I also think is only going to continue to get better as their offensive chemistry evolves.
Dungy can't get it. Rebound for Wilson. Averaging 5 rebounds a game to go along with their team best 14 points a game and a couple of assists a game as well. Good offense from A&M results in their first lead of the game as Wilson hits.
And again, a quick hitter called from the bench. Great execution by A&M.
9 straight points for the Aggies. And you can see, too, Gary Blair right in front of the head coach. The team slows it down a little bit. They don't want to try to run with Arkansas. That's got to be one of the game keys for A&M, right?
Well, he said straight up, we want a Tennessee-like game. They had watched the Tennessee-Arkansas game from Thursday night. He knows it's about tempo and pace, and that is to slow it down, execute in the half court.
Well, the last meeting between these two teams was memorable. It came in the postseason. More on that when we return. 2-point game in the early going.
Ball in, but on a budget. The new $1 Your Way menu at Burger King will help you stack that bread and spend less bacon. So try a flame-grilled bacon cheeseburger, chicken junior, fries, or a drink for just $1 each. So save that bacon and get it on your burger instead, because getting more for your buck at BK just hits different. The new $1 Your Way menu, now at Burger King. Your way, way better.
To support a strong immune system, your body needs routine. Centrum helps your immune defenses every day with vitamins C, D, and zinc. Season after season. Ace your immune support with Centrum.
This is turning into a good rivalry, perhaps because of the relationship of the two head coaches, but also rivalries are fueled by memorable matchups in the playoffs. And this is what happened last year in Greenville. Texas A&M and Arkansas in the quarterfinal round of the SEC tournament. A&M had a 12-0 run to start the game. Arkansas led just once in the game. It came during this sequence. Kiera Williams on the offensive glass with 8 seconds to go. She stepped to the line, made both free throws. A&M could not hit on the other end, and Arkansas had a victory in the quarterfinal round of the SEC tournament, 67-66, the final. Little did we know that 4 days later, our whole world would be turned upside down, as you can tell by how Arkansas runs their huddle. It is socially distant. It is everybody, there's tape measures nearby in case somebody moves inside of the 6 feet. But Arkansas's memorable win over A&M last year propelled them into the semifinal rounds, where they took on South Carolina. Of course, the Gamecocks went on to win the SEC championship, Christy. So in this game, Chelsea Dungy has picked up a couple of early fouls.
Well, and that's not what you want. I mean, in SEC play right now, Dungey's averaging 25 points. This is your senior, your leader. You need her on the floor. But the good news is you have some quality players who can step in. And I got to say, I like the move of Mason starting in this game. Mike Neighbors bringing Ramirez off the bench because Ramirez can fill it up, gives you a spark off the bench. And I think Mason being on the court's a little bit about defense as well. As he's always said, she's the glue for this team.
Let's see how much things change with Dungey on the bench here as A&M looks for Wilson on the baseline out of bounds play. Nixon spins away. Back to Jones. Jones kept it alive for Johnson to grab. Wilson, the three. You just talked about on the other end, Christy, about how often offensive rebound. Look for that quick three. Well, A&M just did it with Wilson.
Well, and that's because everyone's in the paint crashing, and then if you're a shooter, you spot up as we just saw because that leaves you open for high percentage looks.
So A&M had a 12-0 run in the last meeting between these two teams. They just had a 12-0 run against Arkansas, and it just ended thanks to the Mason 2. Wilson. Marquisha Davis is into the game for Arkansas in place of Dungey, and Davis has the rebound. Here's Davis on the push. Slocum sets, fires, can't get it.
But that's a good if you're an Arkansas fan, that's a good offensive set for you because Slocum wide open looks. Not going to miss that very often. And it was a clean look early in the shot clock, which is what ideally Mike Neighbors wants.
Wilson open in the corner. Another three for Aaliyah Wilson, who started her career at Arkansas, her freshman season. Now a member of the Texas A&M Aggie squad. And a foul called on A&M.
And Eric, that is huge because if Arkansas can dribble penetrate and go into Johnson and try to get her into foul trouble, that opens up those driving lanes even more for them.
Well, Mike Neighbors getting Chelsea Dungey back into the game pretty quickly with the 2 personal fouls. You mentioned a senior. Well, you're going to trust the senior to make the right decisions, especially on the defensive end of the court, as Davis makes the first. Doubleheader Thursday this week on the SEC Network. Georgia taking on Tennessee in Knoxville, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. Then number 10 Kentucky set to face Auburn. It's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Tennessee pulled out a thriller in Baton Rouge over LSU, and Georgia improved to 10-1 on the season with a win over Florida today. Jones inside for 2.
I was going to say, we see A&M come right back down the floor, execute a play, get it inside for the easy 2.
Dungey is tripped by Destiny Pitts, who just checked into the game. That'll be the second team foul on Texas A&M. Dungey went for 30, a season high last time out against Tennessee. Struggled from outside the three-point line, and now a turnover for Arkansas. That's turnover number 3 for the Razorbacks.
Very uncharacteristic, as you've already mentioned, Eric. You wonder if Arkansas might be pressing a little bit in terms of, they're coming off a loss to Tennessee. And again, this is a very difficult start of SEC play for Arkansas, playing Kentucky, unranked Tennessee. But honestly, I thought Tennessee played some of the best ball I've seen out of the Lady Vols in 3 years on Thursday night. And then obviously here tonight against A&M.
Yeah, there was some question as to what we would see from Tennessee. It was their first game since December 28th, but they were ready and rested. They took the lead against Arkansas in the second quarter and never trailed after that point, and picking up a win over the Razorbacks in Knoxville, 88-73.
And Eric, similarly, Arkansas jumped out. They jumped out on Kentucky early, same thing with Tennessee, but then they had that lull as we just saw. I think the key is now, can they put their own run back in and get back in this game?
Slocum checks out after picking up her first personal foul. Arkansas jumped out to an early 7-point lead. A&M has answered back with an 8-point lead, their largest of the quarter. Good find on the cut for Mason.
And Mason is just that glue player, headsy player. She realized that her defender looked at the ball, so she just cut back door for the easy two.
If you haven't seen Arkansas play this year, Mason was unable to play last year because of a foot injury. She started the first 3 years of her Arkansas career, getting her second start of the season here this afternoon. Scramble for the loose ball. Tie up will give it to Texas A&M with 1:47 to go in the first quarter.
Well, you saw the set play was to get Chelsea Dungey on the block and try to pick up that third foul. A&M unable to convert there, jump ball on the floor, but maintains possession.
Deep three well off the mark, and it catches the baseline, and Arkansas will take over. A couple of teams that have quite a few transfers making big contributions. Veteran players. There are 4 fifth-year seniors on Arkansas, and Dungey, Mason, Ramirez, and Slocum, 3 fourth-year seniors. Good move by Mason, one of those seniors, but it's pulled away by Jones. You see the transfer numbers, 48 points a game for Arkansas. That's 55% of their offense. 3 of their top 4 scores, Christy, are transfers. And we're talking not just in their first year, but over the course of the last several years. And A&M has 8 transfers, including 4 new transfers this year.
Well, and Eric, I think that's what's remarkable to me when you talk about Texas A&M is 8 transfers, and yet the chemistry looks like this team has been together for 4 years. And I think it's a mixture of some very talented transfers, but also the veterans of Johnson, Jones, Wells, Wilson, meshing everyone together.
Daniels on the drive for 2. First points for Michaela to go along with an assist. Final minute, first quarter. Wilson, defended by Davis. Knocked away, good defense there by Thomas for Arkansas. Dungey on the pull-up. Batted out of bounds, A&M ball. Final 10 seconds of the quarter.
Eric, one thing is everyone knows A&M wants to get the ball down low. The thing is you've got to make an effective entry pass, and so far they've been a little lofty, and that's why Arkansas was able to get that last turnover.
Slocum back on for the final seconds of the quarter. Wilson will do it herself and connect at the buzzer. Aaliyah Wilson helping Texas A&M to a lead after one, 22-16, 10-point team that, as you mentioned a few minutes ago, is going to be on that short list for consideration for SEC champion and in the national picture as well.
Well, and Gary Blair said this in the preseason. He said, hey, the most successful teams this year are going to be those that are available. Well, I'm going to take it a step further and say not just available, but flexible. And that's what his whole offense is, flexible. Beat you inside, beat you from the outside. Eric, they're knocking it down from deep this season more than they ever have. He's just got seniority, he's got skill, he's got athleticism, he's got all the pieces.
Slocum guarding Wilson. Here's Wells. Back to Johnson. Double team comes. Daniels knocks it away. Good job by Texas A&M. Transition defense. Arkansas would love to get a shot off in those first 10 seconds of the shot clock, but A&M recovered well. Daniels will knock it down. Michaela Daniels, the sophomore out of Maryland, having a good first half.
But you saw multiple players for Arkansas get a touch there, a little dribble drive action to try to create what I call the snowball effect, which just enables Daniels in this situation to get a step on her defender to get that three off.
Taylor Thomas was there to stand her ground, forcing a traveling violation, and a good start to the quarter for Texas A&M. Arkansas, Texas A&M, Christie, shot 57% from the floor in the first quarter to take that lead. But now, thanks to a 10-0 run by Arkansas, we're tied at 22.
Well, and we know when it comes to if we were going to talk defense, it'd probably be Texas A&M, but we've seen it at the beginning of this quarter now. Arkansas stepping up their defense to try to slow down the Aggies.
One and done for the Razorbacks. Jones works inside. That's what she does so well. 4 points for Jones, coming off a 12-point, 12-rebound game in the win against Kentucky. Dungy uses a screen. Can't hit.
When Eric, right there, you see of A&M, they had an opportunity to run off the miss, but they don't want any part of that here this afternoon. They want to walk it up and then work the ball in the half court.
Thomas leading Arkansas in rebounding at 6 a game. Slocum finds another gear. She's got that great mix. We've watched it throughout her collegiate career, speed and strength. Look at the counter here, talking about quick from Wilson.
When it's almost like A&M was setting Arkansas up, we're going to walk it, but a missed layup, players weren't set to get back in transition defense for Arkansas, and A&M runs it back at them.
Thomas got a hand on that one, and Jones will slow things down and find Nixon. Arkansas a little trouble getting organized. Well, Wells couldn't make him pay. Batted out of bounds by the Razorbacks. A&M will hold on to it.
Arkansas very lucky on that possession. I mean, it wasn't even like it was a quick tempo transition, and yet they did get back and get matched up.
Wilson has her shot challenged by Dungy, playing with the 2 fouls. Davis. Thomas tries to find Dungy on the cuts, and an offensive foul called on Chelsea Dungy. That is number 3.
Well, we talk about the defense of Texas A&M, and there's India Jones yet again sliding over as Dungy's trying to make the cut to draw that 3rd foul.
So with 6:39 to go in the second quarter, we make a note of it. That's when Chelsea Dungy goes to the bench with the 3 personal fouls. Johnson inside.
That time Johnson did a great job of getting her body into the defender, and so when Thomas goes for the steal and didn't get it, it left Johnson wide open for the 2.
Daniels just inside the arc. That won't drop. Well, it's been a game of runs so far. That was that early run by Arkansas, countered by A&M with the 12-0 run, and then Arkansas fought back, tied things up at 22, but now 6 straight points for the Aggies, and a turnover. That'll be their 7th 3 seconds call.
You see the emphasis by A&M, a post-to-post down screen. Jones getting in the low block to post up the undersized Mason. Unfortunately, just gets called for the 3-second.
Slocum buries a 3.
Great read by Slocum. The defender tried to cheat over that on-ball screen, just crossover back to the left to knock it down.
That is the 5th made 3-pointer for the Razorbacks. Jones, Daniels was there defensively, and a foul is called on Jones. That'll be the first personal foul on India Jones.
Well, the double team came by Daniels. I'm not sure if she drew the foul or if it was Mason drawing that foul on Jones.
Slocum. Davis. A&M will take over as Destiny Pitts will put it into play. Wells. Johnson was hit, and she was fouled, which will get us to a timeout with 4:55 to go here in the first half.
Aaliyah Wilson started the first quarter strong, has picked it up here in the second. Transition layup, just a little hesitation, kisses it off the glass. A&M up 28-25.
Ball in, but on a budget? The new $1 Your Way menu at Burger King will help you stack that bread and spend less bacon. So try a flame-grilled bacon cheeseburger, chicken junior, fries, or a drink for just $1 each. So save that bacon and get it on your burger instead, because getting more for your buck at BK just hits different. The new $1 Your Way menu, now at Burger King. Your way, way better.
To support a strong immune system, your body needs routine. Centrum helps your immune defenses every day with vitamin C, D, and zinc. Season after season. Ace your immune support with Centrum.
One day to the College Football Playoff National Championship game on ESPN.
Will it be Ohio State? Will it be Christy Thomas-Scuddy's beloved Alabama Crimson Tide? The biggest upset in sports in 2021 would be if Christy picks Ohio State to win tomorrow night's big game. Christy, what's your pick?
Well, born and raised in Alabama, have a dog named Bryant, and let's be frank, and Saban, I trust. Roll Tide.
You know, I think the first hint was when we were in Alabama and Tuscaloosa to do a game, back when we were at the arenas to do a game, and you and Big Al had what I thought was a lovely moment that I wanted to jump in and grab Big Al's ear. Apparently, you didn't even know I photobombed you. Christy, you know, I think the world of you. You're a great friend, but there once upon a time was a scrappy quarterback who played at Manchester Central High School in New Hampshire. A young reporter who happened to be me covered him in high school, watched him in college, watched him move on to the coaching ranks, watched him move on to become Ohio State's head coach. So in Ryan Day and Ohio State, I trust the Buckeyes will win the national championship on Monday nights. Are we still friends?
No, Eric. No.
I got the pennants and you got the pom-pom. That's a fair trade.
Hardcore, Eric. I'm hardcore.
Do not disturb Christy tomorrow night as she's watching her beloved Crimson Tide with her dog Bryant. Does he have a little houndstooth cap that you put on Bryant as well for the game in honor of Bear Bryant?
He has a handkerchief that we tie around his neck.
Oh, of course he does. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow night. Monday championship between Ohio State and Christy's Crimson Tide. But this feels like a key moment in this game right now, even though it's been a game of runs and we know that Arkansas Christy can knock down a couple of threes and get right back into the game. But with Dungy on the bench for the rest of the first half, how critical is it for Arkansas to keep contact with Texas A&M right now?
Well, again, there's contact and then there's just confidence right now. And so I think it's key for Arkansas to get some easy looks. I'd love to see them be able to get something at a transition or more so get to the free throw line, things that they're very adept at doing. But Bob Starkey and this Texas A&M defense is going to make it very difficult for Arkansas the rest of the way.
5-point lead for A&M. Destiny Pitt's outstanding three-point shooter, and Mason's guarding her tightly at the line. Makes it so good at driving the lane, and she scores.
And that's the plethora of options that Gary Blair has at his disposal right now. Inside, outside, off the bounce, from three. You got to pick a poison if you're defending the Texas A&M Aggies.
Davis for Slocum. Slocum steps back for three and knocks it down. Big group there for Destiny Slocum and Arkansas to bring them back within 4.
And Eric, honestly, I feel like with Dungy on the bench right now, a lot of the scoring load's going to fall on Slocum. She and Daniels are the ones who, in my mind, need to be getting a lot of the touches.
We talked about the shooter, Destiny Pitts, a transfer from Minnesota, her first season with A&M. Gary Blair says she's the best shooter I've had. He loves what she can do. Daniels tries to answer, and she does.
And Eric, think about what Gary Blair said to us. The best shooter he's ever had. This is a Hall of Fame coach. Time at Arkansas, time at Stephen F., and now at A&M, and yet he's saying Pitts is the best shooter he's ever had.
Batted away by Mason, but into the hands of Wilson. Wells will take it from deep. Kept alive by Johnson. Nixon skips it over. Step back three. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Batted out of bounds by A&M. Arkansas will have it. Well, the last two hoops were scored by Slocum and Nixon. We know all about Destiny Slocum and her path to Arkansas after going from Maryland to Oregon State, now to the Razorbacks, and you can see what she's done. Second on the team in scoring, first in assist to turnover ratio. I think Jordan Nixon has been one of the biggest impact players in this conference for how she's fit in with A&M. And what you talked about before is Daniels hits a three, trying to make sure everyone is sharing in the wealth for Texas A&M this season, and that is the role of Jordan Nixon at the point.
Well, hats off to both these young ladies, because to be a point guard as a transfer is difficult because you have to understand your teammates. You got to know where to get them the ball, when, and both these young ladies are excelling in that area. But Eric, I agree with you with Nixon to come in and much less run a Gary Blair offense with so many quick hitters and yet excel at it. And she's not a natural point guard. He's put her in that position this year because she's the best for this team and what they need right now.
Gary said it's the first New York City player that he's ever coached. Jordan from the Bronx started her career at Notre Dame. Sophomore redshirted last year. As Johnson, they've made Sierra work very hard in the paint, but she's also getting to the free throw line. Can't hit the second one. Riley Longerman is in the game for Arkansas. Slocum heating up.
Well, and Sierra Johnson stays back on defense as Thomas goes out to set that on ball, and that's why Slocum had the space to get that jumper off.
Arkansas has been hot from outside the three-point line. They got the two there. There's Jones fighting on the glass, can't get the putback, and it'll be Arkansas ball. Well, with Dungy on the bench, their leading scorer, the Razorbacks have hung tough because of the three-point shot. Once they start knocking down the threes, the momentum builds a little bit. You can see the three-point season averages here. Arkansas making almost 10 a game, and already here in the first half, they are 8 of 16 from outside the three-point line.
Well, it hasn't been a strength of A&M's defensively. You saw that they're already giving up almost 6 a game to their opponent. So I do think that has got to be something that A&M improves on going into the second half. And we said it, and Mike Neighbors told us, we need 12 to 15 threes if we're going to get a W today.
Wilson too strong, and Lagerman has it. Destiny Oberg has come into the game for the Razorbacks, who will slow it down here in the final seconds of the second quarter. Six to shoot. Daniels. Wilson's got it, and they've got time. Wilson to Jones. Slocum off balance for three. Didn't miss by much, and Texas A&M will have the lead at halftime. Matchup of top 15 teams, and Mike Neighbors has to be happy with how his team fought back. Said before the game he wanted balanced scoring. That's what they've done all season long. He wanted to go in the half with 4 kids with 8 points each, and Jordan Nixon with 5 or 6 assists. Well, she had 4 assists, Wilson skewed the numbers with 12 points, but Wells had 7, Jones had 6, Johnson had 6, so pretty good balance from A&M in that first half. That's what we've become accustomed to seeing. Chelsea Dungey was sitting on the bench far too long for her liking, gets out there and buries a 3.
Well, if you're opposing coach, that last possession was exactly what you don't want to do against Arkansas. Turn the ball over, allows them to get out in transition and spot up for 3.
Nixon has been getting that shot to fall, not this time, and Arkansas in front with possession. Dungey flips it up and gets it to go.
Well, that's a veteran move. So instead of trying to go all the way to the paint, she stops early with a little floater to get it to go down.
Gary Blair calls a timeout. Probably the start of this huddle is going to be, did anybody just listen to what we talked about for the last 5 minutes during halftime? Let me repeat. He'll do that next.
I don't know why I can't come with you.
Ever since they left, my mind's been a little fried.
I gotta do this on my own.
So long, nacho fries.
Whenever Taco Bell takes them off the menu, he can't escape the craving.
The whole town was built on old seasoning.
Oh no, you don't consume me! I consume you!
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Men's basketball coming up Tuesday on the SEC Network. From Gainesville, Florida, hosting Ole Miss at the O'Connell Center, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. It's here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. 5-0 start to the third quarter for Chelsea Dungey and Arkansas to go on top by 3 against 8th-ranked Texas A&M. Chelsea, a 33% three-point shooter. She is number 1 on the SEC's active scoring list, averaging 25 points a game in their first 3 conference games. And congratulations, by the way, Christy, to Chelsea and Arkansas, because when they got to 13 wins, that made them the first team eligible for the NCAA tournament in 2021.
Are you a committee member? So you're just putting them in already?
I am not. I'm only a fan of what happens. But we're just letting Charlie Cream know as he puts his bracketology together that we have 1 eligible team in Arkansas. 13 is the number you need to get to. And I guarantee you there are some coaches out there right now saying, yeah, man, that sounds like a good number. I would like to get there. I think we'll get everyone there, but every once in a while you get another number. Out of the timeout, this is what A&M does so well. You can book it. They're going to score out of a timeout, and they did that after that call timeout by Gary Blair. A hoop for Johnson.
Well, and you have to believe that Arkansas knew that's what A&M was going to do, yet great execution by the Aggies.
Daniels on the step back for 2. Michaela right now at her season average. She's in the double figures for the 11th time this season, Christy. She did it 10 times all of last year as a freshman, so she has upped her offensive game.
Well, all last year, Mike Neighbors said that Daniels could have been in that green zone shooting, which is green light. You can shoot it whenever you want, but he just had a lot more options. He told her point blank this season, we need more from you offensively, and Daniels has stepped up to the challenge.
Johnson picks up the personal foul. That's her second. Destiny Pitts will come into the game for A&M as Johnson will sit down. Daniels guarded by Wilson. Slocum off to Daniels, rebound by Jones. 7th rebound for Jones. hits for Wells. Kayla had 7 in the first half. Mike Neighbors said he wanted this team to play fast here today. That would qualify, as Mason got it up quickly, but she can't hit.
Well, Eric, when we were talking with Mike earlier today, he said, our players know we need to play at a faster pace, but no one's really understanding how. He said, we've gone through film, we've gone through the stats, everything. And what you're seeing now, in my opinion, is Slocum has really picked up her intensity in terms of pushing tempo, and I think that's really helped the Arkansas offense here this afternoon.
Wilson scored for the Aggies, and then they get a stop on the defensive end. They'll slow things down here, down by 1, third quarter. Trying to feed it to the post. It looks like Thomas is going to get whistled for the foul. So Thomas does get whistled for the foul. That will be her third. Dungy has picked up a 4th personal foul. So Dungy's out there. They've got 4 on the board for Dungy, but I don't know if that's right. She's out there still, and I didn't see a foul call. We'll check and see if we can get confirmation courtside in Fayetteville. Jones spinning on the inside for 2.
You know what? Credit Jones. They've been sending that soft double to her all game long, and she has not let it affect her. That time getting by the help side and getting to the rim.
Our statistician, Dan Ferran, also confirming that, to our knowledge, she still has 3 personal fouls, and that has to be an error from the score system. But I'm looking at it right now. They've got 4 up there, so there's got to be a mistake. That probably needs to be rectified pretty quickly, but the official book would be the last word on everything. A&M back in front. Daniels with it. Now they've made the correction officially, so that makes me feel a little bit better that I wasn't losing my mind at a faster rate than normal on a Sunday. There's a rebound for Jones.
I give Dan the man all the credit for getting that taken care of.
Always. Well, Nixon tried to feed it to Wells, but a recovery by Davis defensively to knock it out of bounds. Look, Mike Neighbors is unconventional. That would really be a little something different if he had his best player out there with 4 fouls in the third quarter. That would be stretching it a little bit.
Well, what did Gary Blair say? That they should do a book/movie on Mike Neighbors in terms of basketball doing the Moneyball.
Yeah, Gary thinks that Mike should author the Moneyball version for basketball, and Mike just cared about the movie. Who would play him in the movie? It was Brad Pitt, who was the star in the movie Moneyball, the baseball one. Mike was lobbying for Brad Pitt to play him in the basketball version of Moneyball, but I don't think that's going to happen. Timeout called by A&M with 5:33 to go in the third quarter. And this should be our timeout as well. And we will take it. 44-43. Close one in the third at Bud Walton.
I don't know why I can't come with you.
Ever since they left, my mind's been a little fried. I gotta do this on my own. So long, nacho fries.
Whenever Taco Bell takes them off the menu, he can't escape the craving.
The whole town was built on old seasoning.
Oh no, you don't consume me! I consume you!
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Well, a lot of people care about what's the top 25 poll, and in the recent top 25 poll, South Carolina was 5, Texas A&M was 8, Kentucky 10, Arkansas 13, Mississippi State 14. But Christy's here to tell us we need to put a little bit of our attention on the NCAA net rankings. The first rankings came out this week.
Well, the net rankings is the new benchmark for the NCAA selection committee come March when they pick the field, and SEC very well represented here in the top 50. And what's crazy, Eric, is I looked at these on Friday, and you have South Carolina moved up 2 spots without even playing on Thursday night. So things look good for the SEC. Obviously, a lot of quality opponents within everyone's schedule the rest of the way. So room for everyone to move up. Unfortunately, also room to move down.
Things good for South Carolina, by the way, to play this evening against Kentucky. Kentucky playing their 4th ranked opponent. South Carolina could not play their last game against Georgia because of COVID protocols, but they got the green light today. There was a game called off today. Missouri at Auburn was postponed because of COVID protocols with the Auburn program. It looked at the start of the day like we were going to have our first full schedule in the SEC, but that went away when Missouri and Auburn was called off.
Out of the timeout, I expect to see a quick hitter and the ball go inside yet again for A&M. Or drive inside.
Nixon with the drive, couldn't get it, and here come the Razorbacks. Erin Barnum into the game for Arkansas, and she'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Well, A&M has gone smaller now with Jones running the 5, so I like the call by Arkansas to feed the ball down low.
Well, this is only going to be the 3rd and 4th free throw attempts for Arkansas, Christy. That's a big part of Arkansas's offense, getting to the free throw line. It just hasn't happened today.
Eric, Arkansas came into today's game averaging 19 made free throws a game and averaging 26 attempts. So that tells you what a great job A&M has done from a defensive perspective to this point in today's game.
Arkansas can't cash in at the free throw line, still down by 1. Drive to the basket. Wilson will head to the free throw line. As you saw, A&M is pretty good at getting to the line and getting points there. They were 18 of 19 last game against Kentucky at the free throw line to make that a comfortable victory for the Aggies.
Eric, for both of these teams, they're basically averaging 21% of their overall points, which is around 80% for both teams from the free throw line. So you can see, especially for A&M, it's a point of reference that, hey, we want Arkansas to earn it from the field, not from the free throw line.
Wilson knocks down 2. She's got a game-high 16 points, and A&M's on top by 3. Daniels with the flip. Jones makes sure it's one and done.
Nixon started accelerating past half court, and Gary Blair immediately was like, whoa, 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 slow down.
Pitts split defenders and gets the runner for 2. Destiny Pitts with 5.
And Pitts known more so for just spotting up. Great job of putting it on the floor and knocking it down.
Barnum gets her first points. That ends an 8-0 run for A&M and brings it back to a 3-point game. Pitts can't lose sight of her. And a foul is called on Wilson. That'll be their 4th team foul.
Well, I mean, Arkansas got lucky there because Davis didn't exactly box out, but the official there calling the over-the-back call.
First personal on Wilson. Slocum. Nice little hesitation, but Wilson was there defensively for A&M. And you get an idea of her complete game on the offense and defensive end.
know, Eric, I would love to see Arkansas make some of the reads against A&M's defense. And what I mean by that is they're hedging out. They're taking away that 3 on some of the double down screens. The slip is there. They just haven't recognized it yet.
Well, they lost track of Chelsea Dungy, who knocks down a 3.
And I was about to say, why would you when you can knock it down from 3 instead of slipping to the rim?
Wilson with the spin and finish.
A&M is picking their moments when they want to push in transition, and I think it's caught Arkansas sleeping a couple of times in transition D.
Barnum can't get it. The rebound for Pitts. Pitts has unlimited range. Can't score there, but throw it up. Let Jones get on the glass. The putback and 1.
Foul on Arkansas, number 43, Michaela Daniels, second personal foul. Team foul number 3 on the Razorback.
Eric, India Jones in SEC play is averaging 15 points and 15 rebounds a game, and this is why. She tracks the ball off the rim, positions herself to get the offensive rebound for the and 1.
And she has another double-double. Her 8th this year, the 34th of her career. Can't finish off the three-point play, and Arkansas will take over. Sierra Johnson will come back in for A&M as Jones will head over and chat with Gary Blair. Daniels defended by Jordan Nixon. Mason. Rebound for Johnson. Nixon fights off the defense. Johnson on the offensive glass. Johnson can't get the putback, ripped down by Slocum. Slocum wants to go. A rebound for Johnson. That's her 8th rebound.
And you knew Gary Blair was going to tell Nixon to walk this one up because that missed putback by Johnson. Arkansas, unfortunately, couldn't convert in transition, but the pace had started to pick up, and he does not want that.
Wells to the basket for 2. Kayla Wells with a strong drive, and A&M's up by 6. Barnum defended by Sierra Johnson. 11 to shoot for the Razorbacks. Taylor Thomas will come in. Davis comes in as well for the Razorbacks. And that foul will put A&M over the limit, so Arkansas will get to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 1:36 to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wells got caught grabbing the player. She was trying to clear that screen.
So second personal foul on Wells, and Daniels, 5th in the conference at 84%, will shoot a couple. Michaela had a strong performance in the SEC tournament last year. We showed you that quarterfinal win for Arkansas earlier over this Texas A&M team the last time they met, and then Michaela had 16 points in that semifinal matchup with South Carolina. Gamecocks pulled that out. She's had a very good start to her sophomore year. 4-point game. Daniels gets on the floor for the tie-up. Possession arrow will give it to the Razorbacks.
Just too much dribbling with the defense just being solid like that. Would love to see Nixon just kind of do a little retreat dribble and then attack with the pass.
Remember, Christy, Arkansas had those 4 early turnovers in the first quarter. They've had just 1 turnover since, 5 total for the game for a team that really does a good job taking care of the ball. Johnson with the rebound. A&M's now plus 13 in rebounding margin. which is kind of what we expected, right, Christy? Because Arkansas in the season is a -4, last in the SEC. Texas is a +10, so you add it up. That's one area that Mike Neighbors knew his team was not going to win, the rebounding battle.
Yeah, and where I was really expecting it to show up, Eric, was just the second chance points, but it's been flipped today because right now Arkansas has 8 second chance points to A&M's 5.
Good hustle play by Wilson to save it for A&M. 9 to shoot. Wilson dribbles through traffic. Wilson all the way. Wilson to the basket for 2.
Just a senior who just measures you up off the bounce, quick crossovers, great change of pace to get to the rim to finish.
Kick towards the corner, knocked out of bounds by Wilson. Well, I'm going to have a homework assignment for you here, maybe for these next couple of weeks. Our list of most improved players in the SEC, and I think Leah Wilson may be at the top of that list right now. Averaged 6.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a game last year, but she has her fingerprints all over every part of this game right now for the Aggies. 3 to shoot, down to 2, and a tie-up with the shot clock winding down to Mike Neighbors. Little bit upset. Officials are going to have a conversation. When the mask comes down for a guy who's really concerned about COVID, you know he needs to get a point across. So the call on the floor is tie-up, possession arrow, Texas A&M.
And I got to believe, are they wondering how much time's on the shot clock there? Like, is the shot clock violation versus the tie-up? Or I'm not sure why the officials were huddling up.
Kick back out with 2, with 1, and that will do it for the third quarter. Well, it's a good start to the quarter for Arkansas, but once again in this, Arkansas as an assistant for Gary at A&M, and getting it done with the rebounding. That's for sure, as what has really been something that we were targeting here for this game. And the question is, what can Arkansas do? They knocked down 2 3-pointers in that third quarter. They're down by 6 as we start the fourth.
Well, Eric, I think it's 2 things. They've got to be able to knock down a couple of threes. They also have to get to the free throw line.
Slocum will try the 2, can't get it. Destiny Slocum had 10 points in the first half. She did not score in the third quarter. Dungy can't get the 3. Offensive rebound for Thomas. Daniels has a wide open 3. Well, the best sequence on the boards for Arkansas so far today comes on the offensive glass, but they just could not convert.
And it's unfortunate because that possession shows you the respect A&M has for Chelsea Dungy. 2 players flew out at her when she shot that 3 in the corner.
Wilson can't knock down the corner 3. Thomas running the floor.
And Eric, I'm a little surprised Arkansas has not tried to take advantage of Sierra Johnson in transition offense more. That's the first time today.
Arkansas had missed their last 8 field goal attempts before Thomas made her first attempt of the day. Daniels takes it right at Nixon to get to the free throw line, and Daniels goes down hard.
Personal foul, Texas A&M, number 5, Euro Nixon.
Second on Nixon.
I think she just fell on that.
Yeah, it was an awkward fall. It wasn't that Nixon hammered her down. It's just that running into Nixon, Michaela came down awkwardly. She can laugh about it now.
Well, you hope
if you don't
she's
laugh,
okay.
you cry.
I mean, I was going to say, you hope she's definitely okay, you know, just as a competitor. But you got to remember, Ramirez has not played yet today either. So a very short bench from a guard perspective for Arkansas here today.
Well, Daniels has stepped up. She is leading Arkansas in scoring with 16 points, 14 for Dungy. As I mentioned, 10 for Slocum. 20 for Wilson for A&M, 10 for Jones. And Dungy comes away with it and is fouled. Jones picks up the foul.
Well, the only way to score is to get the ball, and that time Jones is a little lax going to the glass, and Dungy's there to get that rebound.
Yeah, it wasn't like Dungy was fighting for the rebound. It's just that it came to her, and then the fight was on, and she picked up the foul on Jones. Jones is second.
Well, it's just not the way Arkansas plays. I mean, when it comes to offensive rebound, they get back to prevent transition for the opponent. And so, I mean, that's why you just don't see Arkansas on the glass getting a lot of second chance opportunities.
Mason for three. She's in the double figures now with 10. We're tied at 56. Neighbors wanted between 12 and 15 threes in this game to have a chance to win. They've got 11, and the game is tied with 8 to go. Daniels will slow things down. Dungy, and a foul called on Arkansas. I think it's on Thomas as she got tangled up trying to set a screen.
Yeah, they caught over that a little illegal screen there. Yeah, you see her move her feet, doesn't get set. I mean, Eric, if you're India Jones, you go from defending Ryan Howard on Thursday to Chelsea Dungy here on Sunday. Two of the most prolific scorers in the SEC right now.
Well, the Texas A&M defense has done a good job in some key games this season against some of the best players in the country. Charlie Collier for Texas was held without a point in the fourth quarter of that matchup, won by Texas A&M. Then Ryan Howard made just one field goal for Kentucky in that A&M win. Barnum with the hoop for Arkansas, and they're in front by 2.
Eric, we talk about Slocum's scoring ability, but there you see the point guard awareness. Pulls the defender and then just makes a beautiful pass to her post player down low.
They skip it over to Wilson. Passes up on the 3. And an offensive foul is called on Aaliyah Wilson. Looks like she got her arm up here on the attack.
That was a little slight in my opinion. Yeah, a little slight in my opinion, but definitely gets called for it, unfortunately.
Nixon tries to hang with Dungy, and Nixon gets called for her third personal foul. That's the fourth team foul already, Christy, here in the fourth quarter. So that free throw number was down for a while, but it'll have a chance here in the fourth quarter to make up for some lost time.
Well, if you're defending Chelsea Dungy, you have to do your work before she catches the ball. And that time Nixon was slightly out of position, and Dungy made her pay, got the step, and then was able to draw the foul.
Dungy guarded by Wells. Wilson on Slocum. Slocum blocked by Wilson. Controlled by Wilson. Wells on the drive, and she's called for an offensive foul as Dungy takes the contact.
No, I thought the last one was slight, but this one I think is a great call. Wells definitely dips that shoulder. Dungy stands her ground to draw the charge.
Arkansas has made the most of the 14 turnovers committed by Texas A&M. Slocum can't hit. A&M has gone cold. They've missed their last 3 field goal attempts, and they've turned the ball over 4 times in their last 7 possessions.
Eric, what I see is a lot of trying to create your own shot right now from A&M versus letting the play help them.
Slocum to Dungy for 3. Timeout called with 5:31 to go in the fourth quarter. The three-point shot coming in handy for Arkansas. Slocum with the dribble, with the find, and Dungy with the three. Arkansas up in the fourth.
I don't know why I can't come with you.
Ever since they left, my mind's been a little fried. I gotta do this on my own. So long, nacho fries.
Whenever Taco Bell takes them off the menu, he can't escape the craving.
The whole town was built on old seasoning.
You don't consume me! I consume you!